So we've been talking about the New York Times recent coverage on carbon removal. And the reason this matters is it impacts public opinion about carbon removal. And we want investors and policymakers and customers to take action. And they're going to see these articles like anybody else. And it'd be really awesome to have clear and supportive articles about greenhouse gas removal and carbon removal in the press and spark more thoughtful discussions with investors and customers and policymakers. So I've talked to a lot of journalists over the years, and I just talked to one this week, and I tried a new tactic that worked a lot better, and I want to let you know about it so you can do the same thing. So in the past, journalists would ask something like, tell me about direct air capture. Like, what's the latest in direct air capture? I would kind of, describe what's happening in direct air capture and say, and there's these other methods, and I would list the methods. I'd say, the full picture is there's biochar, which is solid carbon. There's enhanced rock weathering, which is made from rocks. And there's ocean-based carbon removal. I would list all these methods, and it's because I wanted to be thorough and clear and share the whole picture. And you might be doing this too when you talk about carbon removal. It's kind of a natural instinct is to explain kind of how it works. But in conversations I've had, this approach doesn't really land. Often, I'd list all these things, and then they would kind of move on to the next topic. They'd be like, hey, okay, so then what's up with AirMiners' business model? Or what's next in the accelerator? So this time, what I did instead of listing the categories of carbon removal methods is I shared specific examples of companies and locations and their processes. So Takachar is based in India, and they're taking farm waste, turning it into solid carbon that can improve soils. There's also Crew Carbon in Connecticut that's lowering the cost of wastewater treatment and removing carbon from the air at the same time. There's also AirHive in the UK building a machine that removes carbon from the air that's low cost, low energy, and easily manufacturable. This time, I felt like I really opened up the person's understanding of this industry. And we both left the conversation, or at least I think we both left the conversation feeling good. And I'm happy with the article that came out. It's up on the front page of worth.com right now, and it's about the DOE awards that went out to the direct air capture phase 2 accelerator program that we got. So imagine a world where we have this kind of accurate and supportive coverage, including in the New York Times. You could imagine taking a screenshot of that and putting it on the first slide of your pitch deck, right? That's like unlocking a whole new wave of investment and just better conversations with investors and policymakers and buyers. So I wanted to share that with you for your own pitches, your interviews. Instead of listing types of carbon removal or terms that are hard to digest, share specific examples and give the name of the startup, where it is, and what kind of impact it's having. It'll make a huge difference in your conversations.